Question 2, part 1, and we've already done a good bit of this in the previous video. We got the mean, right, and this time we are going to calculate the standard deviation, right, and the symbol for standard deviation is sigma, and there it is there, and like an O with a big line off the top of it there. And this is the formula I got from the exam paper. Here it is here. Sigma equals C, which is the class width, multiplied by the square root of all this stuff. And we already have all these pieces worked out from the previous video. So all we have to do is take care of loading the formula and then boil it down into one number. So sigma equals C, or class width, which is the distance between the lower limit of consecutive classes. Like the lower limit here of the first class is 0, the lower limit of the second class is 10. 10 minus 0 is 10. So our class width, as written down here in the bottom corner, class width that we worked out earlier, C equals 10. So that's going to be 10 multiplied by the square root of all this stuff here. So we have a bracket here minus another bracket. And the second bracket is going to be squared. Both brackets contain fractions. So now I can go off and get the numbers. And both fractions at the bottom have sigma f, which we worked out as 119 total. There was 119 runners involved in this that piece of information or data. So we can put in 119 there and 119 there in the second bracket. Now in the first bracket there at the top we have sigma. That means the sum of fu squared. We worked that out there. Sigma fu squared is 1052. So let's write that in. 1052. Right? 1052. In the second bracket then is sigma fu, which is different, smaller here, 318. So we put in 318. Now if you're handy with the calculator, you'll be able to do all this in one go. If not, you can break it into chunks. 10 multiplied by, I'll do it in bits, right, so that's going to be the square root, and 1052 divided by 119. Put that in decimal, say we'll put it to 3 decimal places, so I'll get 8.840. 8.840 minus something else here, right? So this is going to be a fraction. Get the fraction key out on the calculator. 318 on top, 119 down below, and then we could put that into a decimal first. I got 2.67 and the rest, and I'm going to square that using the square key on my Casio, and I get 7.141. So you have to take care using the calculator there and practice it, right? And that's equal to 10 multiplied by the square root of 8.84 minus that 7.141, and we get 1.6989. Now 1.6989, and like we just have to limit the amount of decimal places we're using. So the next one was a 7, but I'm going to put it up to an 8 because the next figure after that that's a lesson for another day. Using the Casio, this should be your answer at the moment, 1.69 and the rest, right? And then I'm going to square root my last answer, which puts in the full number anyway. And so we have our standard deviation calculation broken down for us now was 10 multiplied with the square root of this number here. So the Casio will take all that in one go. 10 multiplied by, use the square root key, fill in the number underneath if you like. It should. And we get I have what did I get here on my calculator, right? I got 13.0344927. Right, we don't need half of that at all. The 2 decimal places will be reasonable, for example, and that's the 2nd decimal place, and this 4 is sitting in the 3rd decimal place, and because that's less than 5, this 3 does not change. So rounding at the 2 decimal places, we get 13.03. And finally we need to put units on this, and it's the same units as we use for the mean. So 13.03 runs completed is the standard deviation, which is a measurement of spread. That's you don't need to know, you can find detail about what it is, but you do need to know that the standard deviation is a measurement of how spread out the data are, and in this case the standard deviation works out to be 13.03 runs completed.